Good evening, viewers. Welcome to Clevenard TV. Just in case you're just joining us, I remain your host, Promise Ibuzeme, and this is Clevenard TV. Please, if you haven't signed up, please sign into www.clevenard.com. And joining me today is a beautiful lady, Miss Victoria Olisa, an ex-councillor of Goose Green Ward, Southwark Council in the United Kingdom. Hi, Miss Victoria.
Hi, Promise. How are you?
I'm good, and you? So today we're going to be speaking about leadership. Please kindly introduce yourself. Tell us more about yourself.
I'm Victoria Olisa. I'm 57. I live in Southeast London with my husband, Seth Obensamwa, my daughter, Ifoma, who's 24. I've lived in London about 20 years. Before then, I was born and brought up in Manchester with my brother and two sisters and my mother and father. I was born in Manchester, but everybody else in my family was born in Nigeria, in the old Delta state.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
So tell us about your background, your educational background, and who is Victoria Olisa herself.
Who's Victoria? That's the story. I think born in Manchester, went to primary, secondary school in Manchester and sixth form. Went to university in Aston in Birmingham. I did a combined honours degree in society and government and politics. I did a third year working in London at a local authority negotiating board. Then I went back to Birmingham and I left Birmingham about 1989 and eventually moved to London because obviously at the time there was a lot of jobs in London. So I've always worked in the public sector, mentoring and supporting young people, especially African young people, to try and achieve their potential. Eventually did that work for Southwark Council in the mentoring scheme where we matched adults mentors from the local community with young people. Then eventually I moved to work in the trade unions, to work helping people in the workplace, especially our African people, unfortunately, who've got very few rights, but trying to support them to maintain their jobs. And that's where I am now. I've got a degree, as I said. I've got loads of training qualifications and whatever, but basically I've got a lot of work experience in helping support my local community, especially in the workplace as a trade union official.
Oh, that's beautiful. Viewers, you've heard she has been to so many places. She was born in Manchester, but our other siblings were born in Nigeria, and she is with her husband and her daughter in the United Kingdom. And she has been working in the trade union helping Africans, which boils down to the questions I still have, but I'll ask that later. So tell the viewers, I know you are an ex-councillor. Tell us how you became a councillor.
I've always been active in my community as a volunteer because I always think that when you're volunteering, you're giving a service of yourself. You're doing it willingly rather than someone's paying you. So I've always been a volunteer for the last 20 years at local adventure playground. I'm currently a trustee at the law centre where I advise and support solicitors trying to get the best money to support the most needy. And it tends to be our African people who've got no recourse for public funds or they've got problems with immigration, housing or whatever. So I decided, why don't I translate that volunteering expertise into a counselling formal role, because I was doing it anyway on my estate and where I live. So I was a counsellor for 4 years and I stepped down in May, which is only a few months ago, because I decided, let me leave it to the younger people to do it. They've got far more energy. Because with the pandemic, I've been working from home over the last 2 years since March 2020. And I thought, you know what, I've done my 4-year stint. Let me leave it for other young people to do it. And this year, where I live in Southwark, there's been more African and Caribbean people stepped up to become councillors, which has been really good. So the legacy is that we'll pass the baton on to the younger generation to take up that mantle.
Wow, that's beautiful. It's difficult to find people who want to leave such a position as a councillor for younger people. We barely see that these days, you know.
Yeah, I've
So
noticed
that
that.
shows
want to do it. And hold on, once they're a councillor, they, oh, why did you give it up? And I thought, it's not for the money and the faith. My thing is, you do, or because it's a recognition doesn't mean you hold on. For some people, hold on for 20, 30 years. My thing is, I've done that now. Take it, let me leave it, pass it on to the next generation, rather than be here till I'm 70, 80 or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Because
That's
sometimes
beautiful.
away from that.
That's beautiful. I hope a lot of viewers are listening, because that shows the kind of quality a good leader is supposed to have, which I can truly say you're a good leader, because
Thank
not all leaders will step down for other people to take over. So thank you for being a good leader.
you.
Okay, my next question is what motivated you to go into politics, especially in the United Kingdom?
Say politics with a small p. I think sometimes you think, well, if I'm volunteering, making change in my local community, why don't I do it in a formal setting? I mean, for some people think, oh, once you become a councillor, then the next step you have to become a member of parliament or whatever. But for me, politics is around you. Some people say they're not into politics, but politics affects the school you go to, affects your outcome, affects the quality of housing, affects a lot of things. And I think for me, even if you don't become like a formal councillor, you can become like a school governor. There's so many different community and leadership positions that you can, as African people, especially in the UK, you can actually take up. You know, for me, that's all political. So for me, you know, if you don't want to be a councillor, you could be a school governor. If you don't be a school governor, you could be a magistrate. Because I think for me, it's about representation. We have to see ourselves visible here. You know, our parents said, oh, yes, we'll be here, we'll go back. You know, I've been here 50 odd years, 57 years. And it's like, for the next generation, we have to be visible and be our own role models as well. You know, my brother was a policeman, he's in the Met for 30 years, my sister's a solicitor, my other sister's accountant, but it's all about being visible representations for our children, but the wider community as well. So I think for me, I thought, yes, I want to be a councillor because I can make that change. But I think sometimes I found that I can make more change in being a trustee in the law centre, because I'm probably, I think, the only person of African descent on the law centre. Everybody else is solicitors, but I'm the only person who's not a solicitor. But my voice is still as valid as everybody else's, you know. And it's about deciding, making decisions about, are we going to expand across different boroughs and whatever, but also seeing the people who are recipients of our service look like me and talk like me, but they've got, you know, they haven't got the money, they haven't got the legal advice and whatever, but they're coming to the law centre for advice. But I'm on the board, so I can decide, let's try and use our funds in different ways and stuff like that. I'm also a trustee of another small African-based AfriSIT with another 4 or 5 young of my colleagues to try and provide educational books for our children back home in Nigeria and Ghana and Cameroon. So that's the small things that I can do, you know, because things don't have to always be, yes, for external validation. Sometimes for me, those small steps, you feel you're making a change, really. So I think politics, I did it for 4 years and I'm thinking, okay, as a councillor, I could be another visible, you know, I could say, yes, I've done that. You know, a Nigerian middle-aged woman who did that. But at the same time, the people behind me watching me saying, oh, well, if she can do it, maybe I can do it as well. So for me, it's about leaving that legacy. Being a leader, it doesn't have to be, you always have to be at the top all the time. It could be handing the baton down to the next generation to say, you know, because I think younger people, they're quite fearless, but also at the same time, you know, it's that mentoring, is about holding somebody's hand to say, right, okay, you can run now. But when you're running, take somebody with you as well.
That's beautiful. I can truly say, from everything you've said, I can truly say you're building a great legacy that every younger people, the next generation, can always look forward to. And it's beautiful what you're doing, because you became a counselor because you want to make a difference, you want to make a change, because there's so many people who will be in the same position and not make any difference, but you decide no, let's just be in this position so that we can make difference, which is beautiful. Viewers, I hope you are learning and you are listening to what Miss Victoria is saying. Thank you so much. So far we've had viewers. She has been a counselor. She was a counselor for 4 years, which she already stepped down this year in May. And she became a counselor because she wants to support, especially most Africans in general. And she decided to step down because she want to leave it for the younger generation, which is beautiful. I just wish everyone can just be like you,
Most people
we'll have a better
life.
Nigeria, better Africa.
Because sometimes people hold on it for dear life, and you think, well, no, sometimes the thing about power, sometimes you need to, but it's like money. You need to let it go and flow, because it will flow through your hands and it will come back again. But some people hold on to power like that, and you think the more you hold on to it, the more it will fall through your fingers. I'm very sort of spiritual about God will give you something, but it's not about when it's your time, you pass it on, you pass the baton on, and the things that the power will flow back to you when you need it.
That's a very important point. You mustn't hold on to power for too long. You must pass it on.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Okay, so my next question is what role I know you've made mention about so many things you've done so far. You spoke about the trade union, how you've helped people using through the trade union and so on. But I just want to ask specifically, what role have you played what have you imparted in people's lives so far?
In different things. I'd say before my current role now, that work on one of the largest, if not the largest trade union, the one before that, I mean, I was supporting nearly 3,000 members who worked in housing associations. So my role was their caseworker, represented people, who like me, talk like me, who work in care homes, from their disciplinaries to grievances to settlement agreements, redundancy. So people in their working lives, primary goal was really to make sure they don't lose their job, to give them advice and support. So for me, that's a powerful thing. Yes, it's a paid job, but I actually cared about people. So when people made redundant, treating people with respect and dignity, to say, okay, you're not taking this seriously. Obviously, your organization is going through this change, but making sure they're treating you with respect and dignity. Even before that, I used to run, one of the jobs I enjoyed was mentoring. I've been involved in the mentoring field for about 20 years. And the Labour Party, I started a small mentoring scheme. So if local young Black people want to get in mentoring, to match them up with councillors or people within the party, to explain to them what it means to be involved in a political party. Even before that, my first job when I moved to London was work at Southwark Council. I was one of the project managers on the Southwark Black Mentoring Scheme, where we matched up 100 young people with 100 adult African and Caribbean people in the community. So, for example, if a young man said he wanted to be an accountant, I'd try and find an African man who's an accountant to show him as a visible role model. And I think that's one of the most powerful jobs I did, because, when young people said, I can't do it, then it's the case of finding someone who is them in 20 years' time. And I still see people on LinkedIn and whatever, and I think, oh gosh, he's grown up to be that, he's grown up to be an accountant. But then those values of mentoring and supporting, they're still doing that now. So I think for me, that's the legacy I can leave and say, gosh, I've seen my mentees grow up, they're now in their 30s, and they say, oh, how is your daughter Iffy? Do you know what I mean? And it's nice because they remember me as a project manager, but somebody who cares about what happens to them. So their parents are saying, oh yes, I remember you saying this to my daughter. I remember you matching them with a mentor. Now she's a doctor because she was matched up with a doctor. So it's about, for me, representation does matter. So I think those are those things that I think that if people can do more mentoring, people are there in the community and they do it because they're not paid. They're doing it because they want to support the next generation. I think that's so powerful.
Yes, that's beautiful. Viewers, you've heard so much from Miss Victoria. Yeah, she's spoken about how she became a counselor because she wants to mentor younger kids, mentor people into doing the right thing, into seeing politics as something that you can love to do. You can have fun and also help others while doing it, which is beautiful. Viewers, let's just quickly go for a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
Clevenard in Diaspora Television is an internet online TV service. What sets us apart is a unique combination of hit African content, first and exclusive international free movies, series, musics, news, events, documentaries, tourism, teleshopping shows, youth TV programs, and live interviews. Clevenard Diaspora Television is available throughout sub-Saharan Africa and to the diaspora markets worldwide. Take your entertainment with you wherever you go. Watch on your smartphone, tablet, laptop, smart TV, depending on your device. Watch free movies with Clevenard Movies Television. Stop searching for free movies websites and watch Clevenard Movies Television. Watch your favorite African shows anywhere at any time. Don't forget to check out our top 5 TV channels created to get you informed. TV1, Clevenard in Diaspora Television. TV2, Clevenard Youth Television. TV3, Clevenard Movies Television. TV4, Clevenard Teleshopping Television. TV5, Clevenard Tourism Television. To start watching, sign up at www.clevenard.com and follow the easy steps. Once you're done, log into the Clevenard website or app on your device, click on any one of our 5 TV channels, and hit play. We will be very satisfied and happy to welcome you to our team as one of our new business partners. Contact info@clevenard.com +34 631 279811. Website www.clevenard.com.
Hi viewers, welcome back to Clevenard TV. Just in case you don't know what TV you're watching, this is Clevenard TV, and you can sign up at www.clevenard.com, where you can upload videos, you can watch movies on our TV, you can also upload podcasts, put up your own adverts, and also blog using Clevenard TV. Viewers, we're still speaking with Miss Victoria here, which is the ex-councillor of Goose Green Ward, Southwark Council in United Kingdom. We're speaking about leadership. Before we went on the break, she told us about why she got into politics, which is to empower young youth and Africans to help Africans in the United Kingdom, to help them making people not to lose their job, also making sure that they earn respect in whatever job they're doing, which is beautiful. Thank you so much, Miss Victoria.
Hi.
So my next question is, what empowerment program are you currently running? I don't know if you have a specific program you're currently running.
I'm not currently running one at the moment, but I know of different ones that friends are running or whatever, because I think I'm more involved in what I'm doing at work, which is as a full-time trading official, but also I'm more involved in being a trustee at the 2 charities that I mentioned before.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, viewers, you've heard she's more involved into a trade union program, which she's an official in it. Just into the question, into the topic, the main topic we have for today. What's your own definition about leadership?
For me, leadership is, people think it's about power. I think leadership is about being your authentic self, being yourself. Being a leader is being true to yourself. Yes, you want to lead people, but part of leadership sometimes is, like I was saying before, it's about giving your power away. It's about stepping aside, let somebody else shine in that light. But also being able to sort of listen and communicate with people, but also being clear about what your goals are. Also being clear that when you're being a leader, sometimes you can be a soft leader, because people think leaders got to be at the front leading a charge and being part of a team. Being part of a team can be leadership. It could be seeing the values that people have and encouraging them and nurturing them to be their better self. I see that more as a type of leader, if I feel I'm a leader, by seeing the best in other people. And I've always seen the potential in everybody that I interact with, meet, and whatever, but encouraging people to be their best self. And part of that will be, if somebody comes to you with a problem, I might say, if I don't know, I'll find someone who can, rather than say, I can't help you and close the door. Because some people, leaders, say, oh, don't waste my time. It's not about money. It's about, if someone's come to you, they've come to you for a reason. And it's about finding out what that reason, season, or purpose is, and why have they come to you, and helping and supporting that person to say, how can I help you? If I can't help you, let me find somebody or an organization who can. And I think that's the important part of being a leader, being a genuine person, to listen and care, and actually care and like people. Because some leaders be quite dictators, and I'm like, oh, what's all that about? You know, do you actually like yourself? Yeah.
Beautiful. So being your own definition of leadership is caring about other people, listening to other people, being able to help people, even though you can't offer the help, but you find a way to help people,
Yeah. And
which is
see,
beautiful.
always seeing the potential and the best in people, and say, because everybody's got potential. It doesn't have to be because they haven't got a title. Everybody's got
Yeah.
potential. Nurturing that potential. I think that's a
Yeah.
key to leadership.
Yes. Thank you so much. So what does it take to be a good leader?
Knowing who you are, but also being able to see the best in other people, and also I think just be generally a caring person, and just being quite, at times going to be focused, but at the same time being honest. If you don't know, say, put your hands up and be genuinely honest. Say, I don't know, but I'll find out. Because I think for me, sometimes when people are leaders, they don't want to be seen to be like, oh, I don't want people to know I don't know this, and everybody will lie or cover up or whatever. I think just being your genuine self and say, I'm not sure about this, but I'll find out. But also being quite structured and plan things, and being the best you can be. I think being a leader is being your genuine self, but also remember the world may not always surround you, might not be about you, but you're just one iota in somebody else's journey, and thinking, what is my purpose with this person, and how can I help and support them to be their best self, and how can I give of myself without thinking I expect something back. That's the
Yeah.
way leadership is, because I think it's a selfless task rather than people think it's always about me and I can give out orders and instructions. For me, that's not about that. That's more ego than leadership.
Yes. So in general, being a leader, you have to be selfless,
You have
putting
to be
others first, thinking about others first.
first, but at the same time being aware that if you've got an agenda, is that agenda um, suitable and appropriate in what we're all trying to achieve? Because for some people, ego can get in the way, and everybody wants to be a leader, and nobody wants to do the donkey word. Nobody wants to do, the little admin work or whatever. Everybody wants to, oh, I want to be the CEO, I want to be the secretary. There's so many committees and groups I'm in that everybody wants to put their hand up to be the CEO, but nobody wants to do the behind the scenes stuff that you don't get any credit for.
That's true. That's true. Um, um, how can a leader develop him or herself? You know, you can be, being a leader. Sometimes, being a leader, you can forget that you are a person, you're a human on your own. So, some people just they neglect themselves, and they're very selfless in a way they don't improve their own self. They are
Yeah.
focused on improving other people or promoting other people. So, how do you be a leader and still remain relevant?
Um, how can really relevant? I think sometimes you have to see, who do you surround yourself with, who are your friends. They always say you should always try and surround yourself with positive people, but also surround yourself with genuine people. You'd have to surround yourself with 20 people. Sometimes you might be 3-4 people who are, they're ride or die people. If you ask them a question, they will tell you the bad news and the good news, rather than some people will surround themselves with friends who will say, oh, you're wonderful, you're wonderful. That's not going to help you. You're never going to grow. Surround yourself with friends who are going to be genuine with you, but also at the same time, the friends who say, have you tried doing this? Have you tried doing that? The same way that you might give advice and support to someone, they can give you that genuine advice and support in a position of love, rather than trying to pull you down. And I think it's about, that's what keeps you grounded. Because I think in this life, I think now 2022, everyone's too busy trying to achieve and earn money and whatever. And sometimes you just got to settle yourself. It could be friends that you said, let's just go on holiday or go away for a weekend and just relax, because they've got to be a yin and the yang. It's not all work and no play, is it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Those are the friends
exactly.
look out for you and say, let's go away for a spa weekend, or let's just go away, or let's go out to dinner and something like that. Because with everything, sometimes you've got to relax and just be playful and just think, okay, I could forget my mum, let me just go out and just go to a show and stuff like that. It's about those people keeping you grounded. And remember, life is not all about just work, work, work. There's got to be a downside. Like for me, every Friday night I have movie night. Me and my husband and my daughter, we watch a movie on the big screen next door, because it's just relaxing and forgetting about work, and let's just wind down and relax and think, what can we watch this week? What's on Netflix or whatever? But having those little things that just breaks up the week, so you realize that everyone comes together and it's like, let's just wash away the cares of the week and let's just relax. And it's about having that special time either with your friends or family, because if you don't do that, all you're going to do is a vicious cycle of just working, and then you will burn out, and then everyone will say, oh, I didn't realize you were stressed. And it's like, it's about saying to yourself, no, I need to scope in that time in my diary. If it's movie night or date night with your partner or whatever, you need to scope that in, because it's really important. That's what's going to keep you quite sane and quite stable. But then if you are struggling, saying to your family, I'm struggling, or saying to your friends, I'm struggling, and say, okay, let's come round, let's go out, go for a walk and stuff like that. And being big enough to say, look, I am struggling. Yeah. Because I think we always want to put on this brave face that everything's fine, but it isn't fine. We've been through a pandemic. We don't know if we're going to hit another pandemic again. And that's changed a lot of people's lives and stuff. So it's about being honest with yourself. If you're not feeling well, saying to your partner, whoever, I'm not feeling well, I need a day, I need to cheer up, let's do something to cheer me up, really.
Yeah.
Not
So
vulnerable, really, I think.
Yeah. So so important notes I did pick from everything you said is as a leader, you need to surround yourself with good people, with people that will build you, that will help improve you, not those that will just see what you're doing and like, oh, you're doing well, but they don't encourage you. They must be that good criticism in everything.
Friend, yeah.
Yes. And another thing is being genuine to yourself. You know when to rest, when to work, when to play, because you need to work and you need to play, you need to have fun, because that fun part is what makes your brain relax and stress free.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something that a lot of people, they kind of like misunderstand. You feel like, no, you just want to work, you just want to focus, you don't even have time to play. I feel like in life, you just need to balance, need to know where to strike the balance.
Yeah. Life, if you don't have a balance, then you're imbalanced, aren't you?
Yes, exactly. So viewers, you've heard the beautiful Miss Victoria. She said, you must balance your life, know when to play, know when to work. Everything's not just about work, and always surround yourself with genuine people that are going to give you true advice so that you can also improve yourself while helping other people. Viewers, let's just go for a quick break. We'll be right back to get more from Miss Victoria. Thank you very much. Please stay tuned.
In the 21st century's technological advancement, we all seek opportunities to move and network with the emerging space. Introducing Clevenard blog and event posting. Do you think you have some interesting materials, good content, articles, and stories? Then feel free to publish them on Clevenard blog and events page, just as team of our writers are doing presently. By blogging on Clevenard's blogs and events, you benefit from our reach and network. There are constant stream of people visiting our social platform, and we have figured out just how to distribute our contents. This means you can basically skip the line and get access to a big audience from day one. Furthermore, we can help you get in touch with important people for projects with possibilities of translating your content into other languages and republishing them on Clevenard. This helps preserve and protect your content from getting lost. What's more, you also get to be part of our team with access to our network and lots of exclusives, behind-the-scenes information. And of course, you get full credit for everything you do, which brings you popularity and make extra income. Sign up now on Clevenard.com and start blogging to your advantage. Please see the tutorial video on how to blog or post events on Clevenard blogs and events. For more information, contact info@clevenard.com +34 631 279811. Website www.clevenard.com. Clevenard, your blogs, your identity.
Good evening, viewers. Welcome back to Clevenard TV. Just in case you haven't signed up to Clevenard TV, please go and sign up on Clevenard TV at www.clevenard.com, where you can watch videos, you can watch so many interviews we've done in the past, and we still do it. You can also learn how to blog and also blog using Clevenard TV. You can also put up some podcast and also advertise your business and market any kind of business you want to on Clevenard TV. And here with me is still our beautiful, gorgeous Miss Victoria. We've been speaking about leadership. So tell us, you know, a lot of people travel out of Nigeria and they forget where they're from. But you speak so much about how you care about Africa itself, how you care about Nigeria. So tell me tell the viewers, I'm sure they would love to hear about what still draws your heart to Nigeria.
My heart, because my mom goes to Nigeria at least 2-3 times a year. We see the videos of the floods of our house in Nigeria, but also at the same time, I'm involved in different WhatsApp groups. There's things like Africans for Labour. There's the Association of British Nigerian Councillors. So we always talk about Nigeria all the time, about what can we do for people back home, talking about the elections, about people making sure they use their vote and stuff like that. But also through all those different groups and stuff in Africa, you find that you're hearing about Nigeria, little snippets, and you think, okay, that's still home. Even though I was born here, that's still home. Because as you know, if you leave England and come back, they always say, people say, where you from? Really what they're saying, where are you really from? With a name like Olisa, where are you really from? Oh, no, I'm not Irish. Where are you really from? You say, I'm Nigerian. Oh, where are your parents from? So when people see you, they know you're not Caribbean. They, ask where as soon as your name, and obviously with my daughter Ifeoma, they're like, oh, she's Igbo. And then the conversation starts again. Do you see what I'm saying? So for me, it's a recognition that wherever you are, unless you change your name completely, people know that you're Nigerian. So it's about making sure that you still have that connection back home, because my dad, God rest his soul, who's buried there and stuff, the remaining family, cousins are still there. So we still communicate and we think we've still got that link. Do you know what I mean? However, I haven't been for years, we've still got that link, but also I've got links through the different groups and the associations I'm involved in here. We talk about Nigeria and we think, hope, like every day there's loads of messages in the WhatsApp group about this is what's happened, the Naira's gone here, some of the councillors have gone back to help with voting and whatever. And it's about keeping that connection home. So we in the diaspora don't forget that Nigeria does need our help in his life. But at the same time, we're not here as a saviour. We're here to stand up, shoulders, show solidarity where they need it.
That's beautiful. Coming from someone that was not even born in Nigeria, it's amazing. I'm sure a lot of viewers are listening to this. She has said it all. You need to own your own country, own where you're from. It's your dignity. It's everything you have. So it's beautiful that someone like you can own your own country, still love your own people, because left for some people, I was born in Manchester. I'll just have to I can even change my name and just add if you ask me where I'm from, I can also say I'm from Manchester, or I'll just claim where I grew up,
Yeah.
So it's beautiful that you're not doing it. You care so much about your people, and I respect that. Thank you so much for doing that. So viewers, we've come the end of this interview, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. So Miss Victoria, I don't know if you have any advice or anything you want to say to the viewers watching you.
Advice is a case of, for me, sometimes it's that I think Iana Van Zandt said it well, people in your life for a reason, season, or a purpose. So whenever you meet someone, you need to realize what reason in my life, what purpose in their life, and what season, because some people are going to be in your life forever. Some will be for 5 years, some will be for 5 minutes. You need to work out what that is. But also, if you're your genuine self, I always believe that, you will be surrounded with good people, but it's about sometimes doing things and helping, supporting other people because you want to, and that's a good thing, rather than thinking, what can I get out of it? Because I just think when you treat people with love and respect, that will come back to you in abundance. And being a true leader is about being a genuine person who likes people, rather than I'm just doing this to get on or whatever. You can be as ambitious as you like, but for me, if you treat people with respect, they will treat you with respect and dignity as well.
That's beautiful. Viewers, you've heard from Miss Victoria. She said so many things about leadership. For someone that is an ex-councillor and cares so much about people, it's beautiful to see that she spoke about how she became a councillor to help people, to help people regarding the accommodation and trade unions, because she's white. She's a trade union official, and she's mentoring people into politics. Do better, come into politics and do better. She decides she has been in. She was a councillor for 4 years, which she only left this year, May. And she said she left because she wants to leave it for younger people to take over. This generation, it's a youth generation, so it's nice to leave it for the younger people to take over, which is beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you for coming to Clevenard TV.
Thank you. And good night. Thank you, Promise.
You're welcome. Okay, viewers, this is the end of this show, and I hope you've learned so much about leadership and you've heard everything that Miss Victoria has to say. She has spoken about leadership. She has spoken about you owning where you're from. If you're a Nigerian, if you're an African, wherever you are from, you must own where you come from, which is beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us. Please do not forget to sign up to Clevenard TV, www.clevenard.com. Upload your videos, watch a lot of movies. You can play music and so many things you can do on Clevenard TV. Thank you very much. Good night. Bye.
Hello there. Looking for an African movie? Search no further. Clevenard African Movies TV is here for you. We are dedicated to the acceleration of African films, TV series, documentaries, and lots more. Explore our movies at home or on the go. Clevenard Movies is free to watch on Clevenard.com. Don't miss this opportunity. Hurry now. Sign up and subscribe today. Hello there.